What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rough Builds. It's been a while, but we're back at it. Got the old 5.3 sitting out here, and what we're doing today is we are going to be gapping the rings for some boost. Over here I have some brand new MAHLE 41859 CP rings. They're supposedly best for just like the stock 5.3. It's just stock bottom end 5.3, and the only reason I'm putting brand new rings in, this is like a 70,000 mile motor, is because I was taking them out. One of them was kind of seized in there, and I accidentally snapped it coming out. So we're gonna try it again with some brand new rings. I know you gotta oil the rings with like the oil that you're gonna be putting into the motor, so I'll be doing that, and then I'll show you guys how to gap them, find the gap, and then how to actually like sand it down or grind it down to find the exact measurement that you want. All right, now that we have the ring out, what you want to do is you're gonna put it into your cylinder and then press it in with the top of the piston so it sits square, and then you're gonna take the measurement with your trusty old feeler gauge, and then wherever the measurement is, take the measurement, and then if you have a grinding tool that's really nice, keeps the grinding square, then you would just, you know, saw or grind a little bit off, and then you go ahead and put the ring back into the cylinder, push it down so it's square, take the measurement with the feeler gauge again until you get to your what you want for the measurement. So for me, the top measurement on the ring, the top ring was 0.028, and I'm doing the bottom at 0.030. Alright, so we got the ring into the cylinder. I'm just going to take the head of your piston and push it down until it sits. So now it's nice and level across. And then go ahead and take your feeler gauge, and I already have mine set to the 28ths, and you put it right where the gap is, and mine is already good for that because I already gapped this one, so that one is good. And now I just got to take out the second one and then do the second ring. And then I'm not sure, it came with oiling rings. I'm not sure if I'm going to change them. I probably will, just because I have brand new ones. Why not put them in as well? But that's pretty much it. You just repeat the same process for all of the cylinders, and make sure that you check the gaps before you start grinding away, because they're all over. I've had them at 0.015 all the way to like 0.020. So I mean, it depends on the mileage of your motor. They say like if you have a mileage of 150,000 miles, then you don't even need to gap them. But I had it all apart, and I was like, why not just check them and gap them just for some reassurance? It's for sure you should check your lengths, even with the new ones. I'm about to put the new ones in the cylinder before and check where they are, so I know like how much to grind, if I need to grind a little, if I need to grind a lot, and a good starting point. So you just repeat the same process for all 8 cylinders and all the top and the bottom ring. For the oiling ring, it has like the steel. Let's see, here's the new ones. It has the steel. This one is really flimsy, and then you have these little spacer rings or whatever they're called. One goes on top, one goes on bottom, and those you don't have to worry about which side goes up and which side goes down. Those just go up or down, it doesn't matter, just got to make sure that they go around it. So this one is pretty gunky, so I'm just gonna go ahead and change them all since I have them. All right, so I pulled out my other another rod and piston and checked out the oil ring to make sure that I was installing it the right way. And as you can see, they're facing down. You want them to actually be facing on the edges of the expander ring. You want them up. Oh Jesus. You want them up like that when you install them. And then everything else, these 2 rings can go either way. And since they are new, just go ahead and oil. Make sure you put some of the oil around it, just so they're not going in dry. These are MAHLE coated, the top ring, so I'm just gonna make sure that I oil them, just a little bit of oil on the fingers and rub it around. Make sure it gets a little bit of the oil, and then reinstall them onto the piston, and then put the piston back and install the caps back on, torque them to spec. I'm actually gonna be torquing these down. It's 15 pounds on the first pass, and then you're supposed to do 85 degrees from the 15 pounds, or just 85-degree turn. So when you're finished, this is the finished one. You want all of your, so I have the bottom one facing that way, and then the top one is 180 degrees that way. And then for these two, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, I have the bottom one over here, the opening, and then the gap on the top one is also 180 degrees. So they're all, none of them are facing the exact same direction, so there'll be no blow by when you're trying to make compression in your motor. All right, so we got our compressor tool on the piston, and we're just going to tighten it down to compress the rings. Make sure it's flat, so it compresses all your rings. Nice and tight. Then you just take the butt of a hammer and lightly tap her on in. And then she's in. Then you just square up, make sure that your dot is facing the right way, and then flip the motor over, put the rod cap back on, and then torque it down to spec, and then you're good to go on to the next one. All right, so I got through maybe I think I was on my 4th rod. I took it out, and I was looking at it, and I was like, that's funny. Didn't have the bearings in either the cap or on the end of the rod, so I looked on the crank, and there they were. So I just had to kind of take them off a little bit. So, yep, looks like we're gonna be doing just bearings and everything. Luckily, I only torqued 2 of them back down, so I'll just have to, I'm gonna redo them all, might as well. I don't see a point in just buying one set, so I'm just gonna buy a set for the whole motor, take it back apart. I only got through gapping, yeah, I think I was on my 4th one when I found this. So I got half the motor done with gapping on all the rings, so I just have to order some bearings, and then when those come, I have to just install new bearings on all the rods, and then just finish gapping the rings, and then can put that back together, and then hopefully start moving on to the top end of the motor. But just a little update for everyone that follows the channel. I haven't really been doing much at all. Finally getting back into the steady flow of making a little bit of cash that I can throw at this car. I know it's been a long time since I've really done anything, so I've been trying to just do anything. That's why I went to the rings, because I figured I would just use the stock rings, it'd be a piece of cake, take them out, gap them, put them back in, but that's not the case, and now I have to redo the bearings as well. So get all that done, and then for the car, still got all the front end. I'm gonna have to get some, I'm gonna use the stock brakes for a little while until we start throwing some big power at it. And then I'm gonna finish the rear suspension, and then I have the rear end somewhere over here. Yeah, it's sitting over there. Gonna get everything for the rear suspension, and then throw the rear end in, and then just get this thing rolling around so I can roll it around if I need to. And then I'm gonna start building the motor. The top end, get like the cam, new oil pump, build the heads, which are sitting over here. I'm gonna do some valve springs and some better push rods and such, and then that should be done. Oh yeah, and I gotta upgrade the lifters as well. But I mean, that's, I'm building the whole top end, lifters, push rods, valve springs. I'm leaving the heads alone. They're the 799s, I believe. I'm running the stock intake that came on it. So, and then I'm gonna upgrade the timing chain. Probably go like a C5R chain. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I really am focusing on the car, just trying to do as much as I can with the car and try and give you guys as many videos as I can. So I'll do a little video on the bearings. I don't really know what I'm doing with those. Figured out, it looks pretty easy. Just gotta pop them in, put some assembly lube on them, reassemble. Seems pretty simple. So we'll do that next time. I'm gonna go order the rings and then I'll see you guys when they come in. Later.
On the plane, never land no Peter Pan, though. Take a trip to the bank, talking bando.